Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is brought to you by our friends at Fangoria Magazine. That's right, the first name in fright since 1979 is now an affiliate of America's Hometown Horror. And because of that, we can now offer you an exclusive 20% discount on any first-time magazine subscription or merchandise purchase by heading over to shop.fangoria.com and using the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout. That's shop.fangoria.com/HometownHorrorPod, or just use the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout for that exclusive discount on anything from Fangoria. Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is also brought to you by our friends at Horror Facts Magazine. Never heard of Horror Facts Magazine? Well, if you're a horror fan, they're a name that you absolutely should know. You can find them over at horrorfacts.com, and they're a great resource for all things horror, including news, reviews, editorials, and lots of other horror podcasts, not only limited to, but including America's Hometown Horror. So head on over to horrorfacts.com and check them out. Now, let's get on with the show. Hello, good evening. Welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. My name is Mike, and I'll be hosting you through this madness that ensues later on in this episode. But first and foremost, before we get into all that, here's where you can find us online if you're interested. First place is our website, which is ahpod.com. That's ahhpod.com. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Most importantly, just search for America's Hometown Horror. You'll find us. You can email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com, and you can leave us a voicemail at 508-927-1267. That's 508-927-1267. But of course, the most important thing you can do for our show is to give us a like, a subscribe, and leave us a review. Preferably a 5-star review if you haven't done so before. If you think we do a 5-star job, it helps get out to more people that listen to horror or horror podcasts and watch horror, just like you guys. And last but certainly not least, thanks as always to our friend Sean O'Laughlin from Skywheel Media, who's now handling all of our audio and music production. If you have a podcast that you're looking to take to the next level in terms of audio production, get in touch with us. We'll put you in touch with Shano and Skywheel Media. All right. Now that I got all that out of the way, let's get into the meat on the bones tonight here, folks. I am joined in studio live by my usual co-hosts, Andrew and Matthew. Gentlemen, how you doing?
I smell something.
What do you smell?
I smell 2 thumbs that may have been just like directly put up their own ass. But no, I smell 2 thumbs.
Interesting.
Okay.
Matt, how you doing, Matt?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Doing very well. And
what are those 2 thumbs that I might smell?
Those 2 thumbs that you may or may not smell.
Where are
Andrew,
they directly protruding?
may or may not belong to our former every week co-host.
My God.
Who is back in all of her glory to give either 2 thumbs way, way up, 2 thumbs way, way down, maybe an enthusiastic 1 thumb up, or some sort of discourse related to tonight's movie. I have to welcome back to the podcast. We are so excited to have her. I cannot wait for Andrew to razz her the entire episode.
I already started.
My beautiful wife, our lovely co-host, Catherine.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi, everybody.
What's up?
Cat's back. It's like in Jersey Shore when Sam's back, but it's
Yes.
Cat's
That's
back.
exactly
Cat's
what-
back. Cat's back.
That's
Didn't even skip a
exactly
beat.
what I was thinking about.
Yes.
Was fucking Jersey Shore and that garbage show. Cool story.
When you were talking about
very
thumbs
impressed.
earlier, you missed the 2 thumbs up my ass. Maybe I have 2 thumbs up my ass.
Well, that was Andrew. So
You always have 2 thumbs up your ass.
Andrew is.
And that's
Andrew
why
is-
that's why you stink.
He smelled my thumbs.
Yeah, your thumb butt, your butt thumbs, your thumb butts, all of them. It's
Well-
like schnozberries. The
schnozberries taste
the
like
thumb butts
schnozberries.
smell like thumb butts. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
As you can tell already, Andrew is raring to go, ready to rip on Cat.
It's an
just
Andrew.
as usual.
Well, this is my week. I'm back.
I know it is an Andrew week.
Mhm.
I hope we can make it to the end of this podcast.
Oh, we will.
Oh, I'm very, very excited. Cat, welcome back. We're very thrilled to have you back. How have you been?
Thank you for having me back. I am excited to be here. One of the reasons why I came on was because I had mentioned to Andrew because he had been talking about Godzilla Minus One for like weeks now. And I was like, months,
Yeah.
weeks. There's weeks and months, you know.
There are weeks and months.
Yeah.
That is true. But are any
But I
months
said
really
that
that
I-
week though?
What?
I said,
Whatever.
are any months really that week?
Yeah.
Be
February's
honest,
pretty weak. I don't really like February.
Perhaps.
It's a weak month.
Fair enough. Go
There's
continue.
really nothing good about February.
What are you talking about?
No, it's a
I like
weak
to
month.
lead her. I was leading her
It's-
astray. That's my
you know.
It's okay. It's all right.
So, anyways, I had mentioned Andrew. I was like, I watched Godzilla Minus One, and he's like, "Oh, did Mike watch it with you?" I was like, "No, you were talking about it, so I watched it." He's like, "Oh, well, you should come on the podcast." And I was like, "All right, okay."
No, that's not what I said. I actually
all
said.
right. Here I come.
I said, Kat, you watched that movie without Mike?
Mm.
She's like, you've seen it. I was like, no, I don't think. I'm pretty sure Mike hasn't seen that movie yet. And she's like, well, I just watched the whole thing because he was taking a nap. I was like, oh, Mike's gonna be so mad.
I
That was probably my favorite moment of this movie.
I was nonplussed. I was
I
not
can
very
imagine.
happy about it. But what I am plussed about is having Kat back on the show. It's been a while. I'm very excited to have you back.
Thank
and I know
you.
as are Matt and Andrew, right, guys?
Yeah, definitely. This is awesome.
Thanks. I know it's nice
No-
for
no-
all the
no
whole
com-
gang
no
to get back
comment.
together. Wow.
We got the band
Sure.
back together.
No comment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andrew, you are the most excited probably out of all of us to have Kat back.
Well,
Because your little banter
I
come
can only
back.
make fun of you so much.
I know.
I can't make fun of Kat
I
all
know.
I
You
want.
love to
Nobody
make fun of
cares.
Kat.
So it's fine.
Well, for all of you who have been missing Kat, as we have over the last several months, she's been super, super busy, and we're super excited to have her back to talk about Godzilla Minus One with us. But before we do so, that'll be coming up in just a short little while. So why don't we talk about a couple of news items here first? Kat's usual favorite thing before we get into tonight's movie.
I didn't say anything.
No, I know she didn't. I'm just teeing you up for your usual sarcastic comments.
Our
which
members
I
might be
can't wait
confused
for.
now because
Yeah.
they're like, who the fuck's Kat?
Yeah, right.
She's been it's been a
Wow.
while. You've been out for a bit, just a bit. Just a
Bit.
just a
Little bit.
Wow.
A little
Just
bit.
a couple bits, maybe 2 bits, maybe 3 bits, maybe 4 bits, maybe 8 bits.
Well, she's had a lot going on. She's been busy, but we're
She's
happy to
Kat.
have her back. So, anyway, now available at home, dear listener, you can watch the much hyped and much talked about horror movie. I Saw the TV Glow, which I have yet to see, but that's available to rent right now for, I believe, $20.
Oh, that's way too much.
Too much money. Not going to
To
rent. I'm
rent
going
a
to wait
movie?
for that to come out somewhere else. That is,
Yeah, I gotta agree. I'm done with the $20 fee.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
renting
dude.
a movie for 20. I rented Civil War for $20. I'd rather have spent that on a gambling bet. Like I would have lost. but
I
I'm like,
know,
it
I
could've been
know.
good.
Are you renting it through a streaming service that you already pay for?
no, I'm saying I would rather wait for it to come to a streaming service that I pay for as
Yeah.
opposed to
It's,
paying
it's,
$20.
No, but I mean-
$20 regardless if you rent it.
But you know when like on like Max they'll like release things and say it's $20, but you already stream Max. Like there's certain like platforms that do that. They'll be like or Hulu,
Are
like
you
some
sure
people
about that?
release it.
I've
Yeah,
never
they'll
seen that.
release
I
it
don't think-
early.
I don't think
That's
that
not a
exists.
thing.
And you do a rental on a streaming service. It's insane.
That is not a thing.
I'm
I've
glad
never
she's,
seen
I'm
that.
glad she's back to just talk nonsense. So that's good.
No, but that's
Wrong.
Amazon
Yes.
Prime.
Yeah, no.
it was definitely like on HBO or something. I
Amazon
mean Disney
Prime,
does that
probably.
too,
It,
streaming
it was
on Disney.
Amazon Prime and they offer rentals.
Apple-
But like
Apple
on
TV
Disney
does
does
it.
it too.
Disney,
Matt's right. Apple TV does that. You can pay an upcharge for it, even if you pay for
Apple
Apple
TV can go fuck itself.
Apple
It's
TV
a stream-
sucks.
The streaming service that nobody has.
Do you
but
want to watch the Patriots fucking? I mean, that's
documentary. That's the
yeah.
only thing that kind of piqued my
Oh, I thought you
interest.
were going to say a game. I
Killers of
didn't know if they had a
Flower.
broadcast this year.
Right? Oh
God.
Jesus.
I was kind of curious. if
You're
they,
like, no.
I was wondering if there was like a porn with like Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old fucking girlfriend. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that'd be
that-
kind of hot.
That's news lately. That's
Yeah.
correct. Bill Belichick just dating below his age bracket, which is something. That's
Like way
something right
below.
there.
Yeah, his age bracket doesn't
way
exist. He's
below.
just
Half
dead.
below.
He's like the crypt keeper. He's just dead. So your age bracket is either dead or what? 20? Like you see, you have 20,
Or
30, 40,
25.
20, 30, 40, middle-aged, and then dead.
He's
She's
like
just
After
trying to work
60,
her
you're
way
just
up.
dead. You're
All right.
just dead.
I'm
So
gonna
don't
try and steer this ship through these
I
murky
mean, I'm just
waters
telling you,
as
this is
best I
fact.
can here tonight, guys. First news item. We talked about this. Matt and Andrew. We all talked about this briefly. They're for some reason
Not
going,
interested.
going to remake Possession, which is of course the Andrei Zulekowski's 1981 psychological horror movie. Getting a remake, and it's going to be directed by the writer and director of Smile, Parker Finn. It's going
Fine with that.
actor Robert Pattinson is going to be a producer on this.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
nice.
no, not
Mm.
acting, not acting,
Not
no,
acting.
producing.
Just producing.
I don't know
I
what
like
else
him.
he's actually produced. I'm assuming he's produced nothing. So I'm out.
Guys, as we usually do, Matt,
Out.
Matt, I'll start with you. Does this need a remake? A
No.
and B. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Just go watch the original one, right?
I don't think anything needs a remake ever, but I don't know. I'm kind of what I was reading about it was that it's in a bidding war with like Netflix and A24 and Sony and Warner Brothers. None of those studios really are anything that completely suck. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. I mean, the
Yeah, so
original
you're
one is,
in. So
is
you're in
crazy.
on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not stoked about it, but I mean, I'm not shooting it down immediately before anything happens. If
I think I feel
A24 gets a hold of it, I'm
Interested.
interested. Yeah.
I think I feel the same way about this as I do the Speak No Evil remake. I'll probably watch
Okay.
it. It's probably not
Yeah.
going to be as good as the
Yeah.
original.
Oh, bruh. This isn't the same level. This
You
is
say bra now? Is
yeah,
that
no,
the
I
thing?
said bra.
missed
Like
you,
possession isn't even the same level as Speak No Evil.
Bra, really?
It
I
is a
don't
crazy movie to remake.
Pretty insane.
They're
movie.
both crazy movies to remake, but possession is a different level of crazy. Like you don't just remake this movie.
No, I know.
This movie has Sam Neill. No need to make like I'm sorry. You have Sam Neill? No, you don't remake.
I know.
it.
There's not
Like,
going
Like, are we
No one-
gonna read Event Horizon? No, sorry, not happening. Jurassic Park?
No
tried
one's
that,
gonna do
failed.
better than no one's gonna do better than Isabella Johnny.
Oh, she was fantastic.
Yeah,
That
she was
movie is
great.
fucking out of control. There's
That's
no
arguably
need
the
to
best
remake it.
horror performance by a female actress of all time.
Yeah,
in my
that
opinion.
subway scene is something to behold for sure.
Yeah.
As we discussed in our episode on Possession when it first came to Shudder, I would encourage that you, dear listener, go back and listen to that because it was a really fun episode and a really fucked up movie to talk about.
Nice
So,
tease.
that's what I do. Professional teases, baby. All right, next topic. Matthew, have you ever read Stephen King's The Institute? It's one of his newer books.
No, I've been kind of trying to get through his older stuff first, and I haven't had
Okay.
time to read, unfortunately, as much as I did at the beginning of the year.
Understandable with everything that you have going on right now, my friend. Apparently,
Yes.
they are turning this novel, which is a 2019 novel by Stephen King, into a TV series. It's going to be starring Ben Barnes, who was in Shadow and Bone, The Punisher, a couple other things, and Mary Louise Parker, the star of Weeds, Catherine, who I
I
know
like
you
her.
really like that
Yep.
show.
She's very good.
Those two actors are going to be leading this show, and it's going to be an 8-episode series. Apparently going to MGM Plus, which is a streaming service that nobody has. And the
Alright.
plot description reads as follows. When a 12-year-old genius, Luke Ellis, is kidnapped, he awakens at the Institute, a facility full of children who all got there the same way as he did and who were all possessed of unusual abilities. In a nearby town, haunted former police officer Tim Jameson has come looking to start a new life, but the peace and quiet won't last as his story and Luke's are destined to collide. Sounds a lot like Stranger Things to me.
Sounds a lot like Firestarter.
That as well. So,
Sounds a lot like who's your favorite Punisher? Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane, definitely Thomas Jane.
He belongs in a lot of So, I'm just saying, yes, nothing wrong with that.
All right. Why don't we keep rolling here? Guys, the viral marketing, next topic, by the way, for long legs is really heating the fuck
Yeah.
up right now. So there apparently is a website you can go to right now. It is, I believe, thebirthdaymurders.net, which is basically a detail of a case related to the serial killer in Longlegs. And they've also released a phone number that you can call, which I sent to Matt and Andrew. And I don't know if you guys both called this. I did.
I did.
That number, by the way, dear listener,
I
is
do too.
458-666-4355. And you get a nice 60-second long message from Nicolas Cage in character as the serial killer from Longlegs. So I would say this is all really well and good and cool. This fucking movie better hit it out of the fucking ballpark.
Well, it's essentially like the Celtics from this year. All hubbub, a lot of show,
Hubbub.
very good, but you better finish.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they did. The
Congrats to the
did,
Celtics,
brother.
and
by
I
the
think,
way.
and I think Longlegs will finish.
Yep.
I just hope it does finish because It's got me like rock hard. Like I'm not-
There were some pretty stellar reviews that came out today and yesterday saying it's the best serial killer procedural movie since Silence of the Lambs.
Right? Yeah, I saw
Big
that
chops.
too.
Cool.
that's
Big chops.
something else.
Very, very big shoes to fill there. That's a very, very high praise. So I hope it's as good as they say. It certainly looks like it's going to be very good. And I can't wait. We still have to wait about a month until this movie comes out. I believe it's July 12th that we get this movie released. But I can't fucking wait for this movie, man.
Yeah,
Anyway.
a couple more weeks.
Next topic. Speaking of movies that I can't wait for, we have a release date for Jordan Peele's 4th movie, and it's going to be released during the Halloween season of 2026.
Oh, I saw that trailer, I think.
So there's no
20
Wait, was there
there's-
something?
there's no
say
trailer.
Say that again. 2026.
2026.
So, 2
Maybe I just
years
read
from
about
this
it.
Halloween. That's
Yep.
so long.
He released a photo on his Instagram page that says literally just a date, 10/23/26, which apparently is going to be the release date of his next movie, which is a long time away.
Did it say name? Oh, that's the name.
We
of the
don't know
movie.
the name of the movie.
Oh.
We don't know a plot description. We don't know anything about it other than the fact that it's going to be directed and written by Jordan Peele, much like Nope, much like
He also is very good at-
Us, much
He's
like
also
Get
very
Out.
he's very good at marketing movies.
Show me.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
So he's doing exactly what we love about long movies.
Yeah.
Love
he's
it.
doing how you do this is a fucking dissertation in how to market a movie.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
maybe try it out. Maybe.
Tease it, big dog. Tease it. And let's know nothing about it until it comes out. It just sucks that we have to wait till 2026, which feels like a fucking lifetime away. So anyway, last news topic before we jump into Godzilla Minus One. Apparently there was a behind the scenes article detailing the A24 Crystal Lake series, which was going to be about Pamela Voorhees and the uprising of Jason Voorhees and all that stuff before Brian Fuller, who ran the Hannibal TV series before he was fired from the show. There was all sorts of behind the scenes drama, which you can read in this article. The biggest piece of gossip that is in there, which I thought was pretty interesting, is that they were eyeballing Charlize Theron to play Pamela Voorhees. Charlize Theron to play Pamela Voorhees.
Darren.
Jason
sick.
Theron.
Way too hot. Unless
play-
she's like doing Monster.
Yeah, I was just say, yeah, she was Eileen
She's
Wuornos. in
super good
Monster.
Monster.
Hmm.
So maybe I can see that.
She
Yeah.
she can go deranged. I
She
know.
can get weird. She gets weird.
Charlize Theron, by the way, is one of Kat's favorite actresses.
I love her
So-
so,
I would
hope
much.
so.
That would
Oh,
have been
she's
one of
beautiful.
the
Yeah.
biggest things to draw her right into the series. So
Done. So
unfortunately, it sounds like that is not going to be the case now because it's under new creative management, and I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
But I don't know.
trash.
The show is still apparently happening, so you never know what's going to happen. Maybe she'll come
If
back.
you don't know, now you know.
If
She
you don't
hasn't
know,
been
now
in
you know.
in anything for a long time. I feel like
Mm,
like little things like commercials and stuff. She's always on that Dior commercial.
So they
like-
somehow got Charlize Theron to be in a Marvel movie because she was in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse
Oh.
of Madness just to take a payday, apparently.
just thought no one cares about this.
Okay,
I can't.
fair enough.
I can't.
All right, why don't we take that opportunity to move on to our next segment of the evening and talk about something that Andrew does dearly care about, which would be tonight's movie. But before we do so, why don't we take a quick little break here to get a word from our sponsors? We'll be right back to talk about Godzilla Minus One. Stay tuned.
It's official. The critics' decision is in. Spooky World is spectacular. Enter the new black hole. If you dare. Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park, Spooky World.
Sleepy Clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then be next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking with us through that commercial break. And all right, this is going to be fun tonight. I think this is going to be one of the few instances where we have all four amigos here tonight. Where we're going to talk about a movie that we all feel relatively the same way about. And of course, I'm talking about probably one of the most talked about, if not the most talked about movie of 2023 that is finally available for people to stream in America. And of course, I'm talking about Godzilla Minus One. This movie, by the way, fucking incredible. But more on that in a little bit. Andrew has been barking up this tree for quite a long time. He was, I think, the only one. Actually, yeah, Matt, you didn't see it either in theaters. Andrew was the only one out of all four of us to be able to see this movie in theaters multiple times, right? Twice.
Yep, saw it twice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Which
wow.
I feel like I feel like
I
this
like
is
this
one
movie.
of those movies. It's gonna come back to theaters at some point.
Needs to come back.
And I would love, I know there is a black and white imprint of this movie.
That's what I want.
Would love to see that as well. Watching it on Netflix on a TV, I feel like pales in comparison to the theater experience. So Andrew, before I guess I give like the quick description of this movie. I know you're so excited, right? Like, come on, talk
Yeah,
to us a
dude.
little
I don't
bit.
want to talk to you about like movies I've seen in theaters, but and I know this is gonna step. I'm not trying to step on your toes, man.
No, it's fine.
You said there's a certain movie. So when we talk double feature, the double feature from last year were the two best movies I've seen in theaters in a very long time. It was Oppenheimer and it was Godzilla Minus One. And that is the double feature right fucking there. That is the most upsetting, sad, but
Yeah,
just
Good.
perfect.
Yeah.
they're even in
seven
chronological order.
Anything like if you do it, it would be Oppenheimer then Godzilla Minus One. So yes,
I'd say
And
Oppenheimer is definitely the more depressing of these two movies.
but
Godzilla
if
Minus One is a
but if
little
you-
bit more
If you
uplifting.
watch
at the
that
end.
right after it,
Yeah,
it's mostly depressing.
yeah, for the
And
most,
that is
for
the double
most part.
feature because Godzilla Minus One is, in my opinion, frankly speaking, it's in my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
it is. Yeah. It's in my top 10 movies. It's up there with The Shining.
I understand that.
It's up there with Jaws.
Like
It's up there
Titanic?
with Alien. It's up there with like every it's not even, but it's also not even a fucking horror movie. It's just one of the best movies I've ever
It's a
seen.
monster movie.
So well done with monsters, and it's just I can't think of a movie that I would watch this movie 15,000 times in a row and still love every minute of it.
It's great.
It's good.
It's very good. But before we get to all that, not horror enough to talk about it in the show, right? Of course, we're gonna. This fits perfectly. I
It's
feel like.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's a horror movie.
We've
It's
talked
Godzilla.
about. I think movies that are way less horror on this
So
podcast.
I don't give a
than
fuck.
this one
If it involves a monster, it's a horror movie.
I agree, Matt.
I do too. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Same. All right, so before we get into all the minutiae of this movie, Godzilla Minus One, in case you've been living under a fucking rock for the last year or so, is a 2023 Japanese epic kaiju film written, directed with visual effects by Takashi Yamakaze, which fucking all the props to that guy, by the way.
Yeah.
It is produced by Toho Studios and Robot Communications and distributed by Toho. It is the 37th film in the Godzilla franchise, which is incredible. 37 films. Toho's 33rd Godzilla film and the 5th film in the franchise's Raiwu era, which I don't know what that means. I can look it up. Don't worry about it.
I wasn't going to.
The film stars Ryunosuke Kamiki. Again, if I fuck these up, I'm trying. We've been covering a lot more foreign horror on this podcast. I'm trying.
That's
here,
like
okay?
$1 an hour.
You're saying things very confidently, so I wouldn't know.
Ryunosuke Kamiki, Manami Hamabe, Yuki Yamada, Munetaka Aoki, Hidetaka Yoshikata, Sakura Ando, and Karanosuke Sasaki.
I like it.
Hope I got
Sounds
all
good
those
to-
right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, you
If I
hit your
did-
stride right there.
Either way, all those actors and actresses are fucking great in this movie because the characters make this movie, again, which we'll get to. Set in post-war Japan, that would be post-World War II Japan, it follows a former kamikaze pilot suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder after encountering a giant monster known as Godzilla. Guys, the most ridiculous thing. This was made on a budget reported to be somewhere between $10 and $12 million and returned over $115 million worldwide at the box office. I would have thought that would have been more, to be honest. Both the budget and the return on the box office, because this looks like they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on it.
Yeah.
This makes Marvel movies look like shit.
How much more
Matt.
advanced is their technology in Japan than ours? You know what I mean? Like it was
don't
made
know.
in Japan.
Well, so what it is I think so. This is what I look at it like. It was Tamakachi, the director of
Yes.
this movie. So I essentially the way I look at CGI is there are different skill levels. So you're like any
True.
doctor. There's a billion doctors, and not every doctor is very good at what they do. But when you have a doctor that's very good at what he does, he will come out and slay. Like this is a doctor showing how bad. Because I'm sorry, I haven't seen these trash fucking Godzilla X Kong. Like that's a great story, but that is the most bush league, just basic bitch. Fucking CGI anyone could ever manipulate. Oh, is this a video game? Cool. I appreciate I love watching video games. No, so what makes this movie absolutely kill is the CGI is so realistic in this movie that it doesn't like Godzilla X Kong has no fucking chance even standing. And there's a reason why this got nominated for all of those awards because it absolutely fucking slaps.
Of course. By the way, Andrew, so you brought this up just to put it in perspective. Okay. Godzilla Minus One had a modest-sized team of 35 visual effects artists, okay?
Yep.
That completed the film with only 610 visual effects shots, okay?
Barbie at
35 people, 610 shots. For comparison,
Barbie.
Avengers Endgame used 2,500 visual effects shots and had a budget of $365 million.
Wow.
Out of control.
That's the most incredible thing.
Can we just
ever
say
heard.
that this is the best Godzilla has ever looked? Ever looked. Isn't he Studley?
I agree.
Gorgeous. Isn't he the
I
best
love his
he's
spikes.
ever? Like, let's talk about Young Godzilla. Young Godzilla was beautiful. There's okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
But I'm just so fucking
excited. I know you're fired up. I know you're fired up. You're fired up. Hold on a second here. So again, $10 to $12 million budget, returned over 115 million at the box office. I would have thought that would have been more. Basically, on Variety.com, Godzilla Minus One had a box office total of 25.3 million in North America, making it the highest-grossing Japanese live-action
Shin
movie
Godzilla
in North American history. So the highest. This is the biggest foreign film. Am
I mistaken? If you had seen this movie in theaters, Mike, would you not have had the biggest boner you've ever seen? Think about watching the movie in theaters.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It would have been great.
Yeah.
Would have been great.
I would have enjoyed it thoroughly. So
it's like watching Jurassic Park on the big screen.
It's up there. It's
up there.
fucking up
there.
Huge movie. Obviously, people have heard about this movie, and it's this is one I've been waiting to watch and talk about for a long time. By the way, last thing before I kick it over to Andrew and everybody else for their thoughts. The Minus One, by the way, in the title, refers to the fact that Japan had already been devastated by World War II, brought down to zero, essentially.
That was why I texted Andrew
Yep.
being like, what
Yep.
does that mean?
A lot of people are confused by the title, but essentially with the emergence of Godzilla, it puts Japan into the negative. This is reflected in the film's original Japanese tagline for the first Godzilla film, which translates to post-war Japan from zero to minus.
This is like when the Dallas Mavericks were like, we're going to acquire Kyrie Irving, and now we suck even more than we did before.
One.
Yeah.
Makes me feel good that Kyrie lost.
What a fucking
Sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
Do you guys know? So the original movies, like obviously from Japan as well, the Gojira is like the Japanese translation of Godzilla.
Yes.
And in America, they just didn't really know how to say it. Like they knew how to say it, but they were like, should we say it like that? Like, could we? So they made it Godzilla, but Gojira, what it means is gorilla whale. That's the actual phrase that it is.
Huh.
Yeah.
Gojira.
Now that I know that's the literal translation, that makes a whole fucking
well, when he's swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
Let's
But
not
where do
blow it
the
out.
spikes come in? If it's
Hold-
Regardless.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Before we get into all this craziness. By the way, Godzilla Minus One, finally available to stream on Netflix. If you have
Yeah, that was a
Netflix,
nice
you
little
watch
gift.
this movie. Fucking huge. This is the biggest movie I feel like Netflix has gotten in a really long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
It's a big gap. It's a big gap.
Yeah. So, Andrew, you talked about this already. You kind of stepped on my thought, but I was going to say this movie would make a really great double feature with Oppenheimer, Godzilla.
I
Minus
did
One.
7 but I thought that
It's
immediately
okay.
after I saw it.
It's fine.
I also am the only one that saw both of those movies in theaters.
I know.
So
Okay.
for this guy, no offense.
Real quick, Andrew,
Sorry.
what's the better movie? Go.
Godzilla Minus One.
Catherine, you've seen both. What's the better movie?
Oh, that's tough.
It's a non-answer. So
I think I'm gonna go Oppenheimer.
I have to say Oppenheimer as well.
Oh.
Matthew?
I still haven't seen Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I honestly it was like a movie that I was like, I could watch a handful of other movies that are also super long, and then
I
I
know.
did, and then I just like kind of never circled back to it. I'll get to it this summer. I'll have plenty of time where I'm just.
It's a
chilling.
commitment.
You should. It's a commitment, but it's
that's,
very good.
that's a bit,
Honestly,
I find that wild.
it's very, very close for me. But I just think, dude, Oppenheimer is so good, and there's so many people in it. But Godzilla Minus One is so, but it's also a movie about a gigantic lizard. It's like I can't not say Oppenheimer.
Here's what makes
Oh, come
Godzilla
on.
better than Oppenheimer.
What?
Is that regardless of all these famous actors and all these huge actors in this Christopher Nolan movie with this huge score and this fantastic movie, and that the story for Godzilla Minus One is 15,000 times better than the
And
story
it's
for Oppenheimer.
originally made up. It's not.
It's original.
Mm.
It's
History.
it's a better movie. It just doesn't have the fucking namesake that Oppenheimer does.
they're-
This is
Fine.
I'm not gonna. This is a top 10 movie of all time for me. This is one of my favorite top 10 movies of all time. This is up there with fucking Jurassic Park and just like
Other
This-
monster
this
movies of
beats
that
out
ilk.
better than Alien, better than Jaws. This is
Whoa.
just better.
That's a fire-breathing take. Catherine,
Yes.
you were gonna say?
I was gonna say they're two completely different movies, though. Like you can
I'm aware, but they're
It's not
they're
as if you're
both-
saying one is. I mean, you can't really put them. One is better than the other. They're both really great movies.
Sure you can. You can always
No,
put
because
something
they're
better
not
than the other.
like. I mean, they're not
They're
the
similar.
same real
They
genre.
take place in the same time
no.
frame.
They do
Monster
quite literally
universes.
exist on the same timeline.
Same universe. They're
Yeah.
in the.
They could
This is
be.
why it's the perfect double
But they're
feature.
two completely different movies.
And yet they are so. That's what makes them so good is the fact that they are both completely different movies. But I can distinctively tell you that I prefer one movie or the other, and I fucking love Oppenheimer. But Godzilla Minus One is a top 5 movie of all time.
And
for me, for me.
Oppenheimer or not?
Oppenheimer's a top 10 movie.
Okay.
I don't know if it's top
Wow.
5.
Wow.
What
So
about
you
Nope?
had a really great year at the
Dude,
movie
those
theater
movies
last year.
both fucking slap fucking dicks real hard.
Wait, but when I'm thinking of other movies that you've seen in the movie theaters, like more than one, Nope was one of them, correct?
It's not
That was
that
2022.
not even in the same fucking
Okay.
stratosphere.
So is this going to turn into like like 2 years from now when there's more movies? You're going to be like, this is my favorite movie again.
no,
you know what I mean?
no,
That's
It's
a
like
fair
you-
question,
you
Andrew.
fair,
That's a
but
fair
but
question.
also, Nope is not in that same.
But
Level.
you
At the
at the time it was.
I said Nope was very good. I never put it in
Oh
that
no
level.
no
Never
no!
I
put it
think
in
you
that
saw
level.
Nope.
recency
I think
bias.
you saw Nope 3 times.
You
Mhm.
did in the
You saw
movie
Nope
theater.
3 times.
But I never put it in that same atmosphere.
Yes,
You did like it.
did.
Oh,
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Same atmosphere.
That's what
I
you
said
call-
I said it was very similar to Jaws.
But now if I
never
mention
said it
Nope,
was
you
the
go,
same.
oh my god, no way! Like Nope.
Nope's a good
but
movie.
By the by, my double feature with this movie would be Jaws because I feel like they are very similar fucking movies in tone, in feel, in effects. It's fucking awesome. And
water, ocean.
yeah,
I mean,
as
mine
a
would just be the
huge-
original Godzilla.
Yeah, that'd be a really good one too. I just feel like you can't watch this movie and not see the parallels to Jaws. It's
It's
Oh, I
fucking
get you.
when I first saw this
awesome.
movie, I was like, you would love this movie. It is Jaws.
Oh yeah.
The dog
That was the
scene.
first thing I said to you.
I really wish I had seen this movie when we had recorded our best of 2023 episode. And, I just didn't see it in theater. So we couldn't, neither did Kat, neither did Matt. This would have been probably close to the top for me, just because, like, my reverence for Jaws, I've talked about this a million times in the show. This is just like, I can't like say that they're ripping off Jaws, but they're clearly paying homage to
This is an
Jaws.
Yeah.
homage.
It's
They were
different.
never ripping it off.
It's so similar, but it's also different, and it's just awesome. Like I've never seen Godzilla portrayed like this on film, where he's actually like
A villain.
not like an anti-hero. He is the bad guy,
He's the villain.
and he's
Well,
scary.
have you seen the original one?
I mean,
Well,
like
this is
a
what
long
they're doing.
time ago.
They're paying
Yeah.
homage to the
Yeah.
original, because in the original one he is a villain. He's in the newer
For
ones. He's like an
multiple
anti-hero.
movies,
He's
he's
always
the
like
villain.
fighting
Yeah.
Mothra or
Yeah,
these
yeah,
other
yeah.
monsters,
Yeah.
but in the original he's destroying
Well,
fucking shit.
That's
up.
Yeah,
that's
the
a very
first
good
few,
point.
he's a
That's a good point by
monster.
Matt. I was gonna say, so Matt, you have seen a lot of the original movies, right? You own a bunch of them on Blu-ray, right?
I have the first 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I am not
It's like
very
a
much of a
box set,
connoisseur of the old Godzilla movies. I don't know if either of you guys are, but I'm personally not.
No.
So Matt, like
They're not
like,
all great.
in terms of like, yeah, I mean, like, I know there's a lot of them. Like, where does this rank in the pantheon of Godzilla movies for you?
Oh, dude, so I was thinking about this when I was at work today because I didn't know if I didn't know what was going on with with Baby Watch. So I was prepared to have a statement to be read. But the original one, there's nothing without that, no matter what. So, and I kind of stand on that platform with everything. The original is always going to be the pioneer, usually. But the original Godzilla, the story is
Weird.
the original story is very good. It really takes itself very seriously. It plays Godzilla as a monster and a villain. Special effects. It's a guy in a suit, so it's not like that stupid, but still, like, compared to today's standards, people will think it is. But those two are the best, like the original and Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One is a better movie, but the original Godzilla is still it's weird because I'm contradicting myself, but the original Godzilla is the movie, but this one
What you're
is
saying
a
is that
better
the inspiration for this movie is the original one, which makes that movie better than this one. Without the inspirational movie that is the original Godzilla, this movie would never exist, could never exist.
It's just that
So this
that
movie-
one was
so the original
pinnacle,
Godzilla deserves its flowers,
Yes.
which I get. But you also do agree that this is probably the best this movie has ever been portrayed. Like, they made
Yeah.
this movie, and this is
It's
exactly
kind of
what
it's almost it's almost, you could take it as a remake, but it's not. But
I look
they're
at it
very
that way.
similar. They're very similar, but like this movie has much more of an in-depth story, whereas the a different story than the original one, but it is still like Godzilla's existed when this takes place. In the original one, he kind of like that's like his like comeuppance.
I mean, let's be honest though. This movie gives you all the Godzilla you want, plus it adds in like that Twister element and that Jaws element. So it makes it just
Yeah.
this epic, like Hollywood blockbuster type movie, but done in such a way that it's perfect.
I like how you
Doesn't
said
this feel
Twister.
like a Spielberg movie?
This
to you?
does feel, it's just like it's one of the it's just such a well done movie.
Yeah.
Like, the acting is phenomenal. The comedic relief in this movie is underrated. And you don't even realize it because you're watching this and you go, I don't understand what anyone's saying, and it's just fine because you can do it. But like,
Subtitles, baby.
the subtitles, like the acting in this movie is absolutely phenomenal. The whole like just
Dynamic.
the dynamic
Yeah.
between like the scientist and the captain of the ship and the main character and his girlfriend slash like just whatever she is.
Yeah, he's like just fathering
So
his
good.
child.
Like, there's everything about this movie is like your eyes don't veer when you watch this movie because it's perfectly done. They nail it. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion.
Right
I was
on,
going to
brother.
say, so one of the big things for me, I've said this on this show a million times. If you have a good story and you throw a monster into the middle of it, it makes it that much better. And I feel like the story of this entire movie, the characters in this, incredible. Like, the story of all the characters, awesome. And it's just like you're instantly drawn to all these people, and then you throw in the Godzilla element, right? And you throw in the fact that they're post World War II in Japan. Like, this movie's about a lot of shit.
And you throw in the original gangsta.
Yeah.
Fucking music. Is
Yeah,
so
the original
good.
Godzilla music.
that
when
was
I
sick.
heard that for the first time, even though you told me ahead of time, Andrew,
Yeah,
that
I
was coming.
Like, that was coming. I was like,
I
no,
That
it
caught
was
me off
still-
guard.
Yeah, I was very happy when that showed up. That was very cool.
was so good.
But like I'm not gonna even try and say all the character names at this point because I don't remember them all. But the main character, awesome character, great character arc, and all the people that he's on the boat with, starting off on the Minesweeper boat versus like at the end, they're all great characters. They're all funny. Like you said this, Andrew, like earlier. It's a lot of funny moments.
It's
in this movie,
hilarious.
with
It's
a lot of
very
good
funny
characters.
movie.
Yeah,
Like, they do a really good
it's
job.
good stuff.
That's what makes this movie like Jaws.
Kat, what kept you going with this movie? Because I know that, like, for subtitles, you're not a big we watch a lot of subtitle stuff, but like,
Well, I watched
To be able to-
TV with subtitles on.
no, I know, but like, so let's say, for instance, like, so you, like, what made you want to watch this movie just on a whim? when it came to
I think
Netflix?
Andrew kept talking about it, and I was finally like, and you kept saying, you're like, every time I saw you, you're like, Godzilla Minus One, Godzilla Minus, and I'm like, all right, Jesus, I'll watch
I
Godzilla
like this
Minus One.
movie.
I had like nothing. I was like folding laundry. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch this movie. I thought that you had watched it already. I thought you guys had already podcasted it. But the way that he just kept saying Godzilla Minus One, I was like, if it's streaming now, I might as well just go and check it out. So
I needed a nap so bad that
yeah,
day,
my
too. I
nap
was
that
dying.
day.
I
And
can't believe she watched that
Mhm.
movie. I was like, wow.
I was very,
Yeah.
I was bummed.
dude.
I was bummed.
I finally
I'd
texted
be
Andrew
bummed.
like halfway through. I'm like, yeah, this movie's bomb. Like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, is Mike watching it? I'm like, no. He's like, what?
I was like, Mike, seen this movie? And you're like, I'm just watching it. I'm like, fuck.
I was the last one to see
Yeah.
it, which is
That's wild.
incriminating.
Me and Andrew were golfing last Sunday, and he was saying that Kat was watching it, and I was like, oh, like that's good. Like, I'm sure like her and Mike are like loving it right now, and he was like, oh no, Mike's napping, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
I was like, Kat picked this movie on her own.
Dude, usually Kat watches like Netflix
That's
reality
what I
shows.
was like, wow. I was
And
like,
she decides
you
to throw
picked
on Godzilla Minus
Godzilla
One.
Minus One. I was
just
shocked.
what the
Well, you said it was so
And I-
good. And I was like, that is
I
true.
dude, I
did
took a
say that.
hardcore nap for like 2 hours. I was out.
That's
I was up watching
was
Godzilla, having
awesome.
a Bloody Mary, like
Yeah.
just hanging out.
And I
with
came
Otis,
downstairs and I was like rubbing my
I'm
eyes.
like, I know this. What is
I was
going
like, what are
on?
you watching? And it was the part where they're like leading him out to
Sinking in the
sea. And I was
ocean.
like,
I'm
oh
missing
my
this
God.
one.
I was
I
like,
can't see this.
I can't be
I'd
here
be-
right
I
now.
would be so
I said
mad.
that to him.
No.
I was like, Mike, it's like the last 15 minutes. I was like, I can turn it off, but
Yeah.
like, or you can just go away for 15
I did.
minutes.
Ultimately, I
You
did
must have
just
been
go
so
away.
mad.
I wasn't that
Well,
mad.
just disappointed.
I was just like bummed. I was like, oh fuck, she's seen it before me. Now Andrew's gonna make fun of me about this.
I had no
that's just-
idea.
Like when I'm like, Mike, have you seen Fortitude yet? Because that show, bro.
Yeah, I know. You've only been busting my balls about Fortitude
That's
for
up
4
there
years.
with fucking Godzilla Minus One.
Oh my god, get fucking.
Oh, that's
get
one of the
bent.
best show that's ever been. Dude, I don't
Oh.
fucking speak lightly.
Okay.
lightly.
All
Just
right.
saying.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, this movie rocks. I honestly, I think this is. I'm not ready quite, like Andrew, to call it on par with like The Shining and Jaws and Alien. I think
No.
that is strong.
It's the
If I
best
may.
Godzilla movie. Yeah,
Clearly. Clearly the best Godzilla movie. And as a guy that's not a huge Godzilla connoisseur, I've seen all the American Godzilla movies. I've seen a couple of the Japanese ones. This is far and away the best one I've ever seen. I think this is the best he's ever looked. This
Yeah.
is the most scary that Godzilla has ever been. It's the best effects. Great music. Yes, Catherine.
Oh, I just wanted to weigh in on something we already talked about. Whenever
Okay.
we have a second.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like, just come
Oh.
back to me.
So just for you listeners of the show, just to
case
know,
you missed Kat,
to know,
that's
to know
why.
that Kat is back with
Wait
a
a
capital B. I'm talking and Kat's raising her hand and laughing at me,
So talk about
waiting to basically tell me that I was like, what, do you have a point? You want
I
to say
just, like-
something? She's raising her hand.
And then by the time you get back to me, I'm gonna forget what I
And
was
now
gonna
I
say.
forget what I was going to say.
See, it's a
But the
vicious
movie is
circle.
great. It's
Cycle.
like if you have a Netflix subscription, you need to watch this like today, like right now. Drop what you're doing,
Yeah.
go watch the movie, come back, talk to us. It's fucking awesome. And it every single bit deserved the first Godzilla movie Academy Award nomination that it got last year, which I believe was for visual effects. Right?
Yeah,
It
Godzilla
won?
personally got the
I think
Oscar.
I think it won,
I think it
It
did.
did.
and
Yeah,
as
it
it
did
should
win.
have.
Yeah.
Because it was
won.
What?
The best
I
you
don't
could
know.
ever.
Let me look that up. That might not be right.
No, they won.
I'm pretty sure it won.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
hold on.
willing to bet
Godzilla got an
I'm gonna bet
Oscar.
$8 billion for that.
It won what? An
Best
Oscar?
It was
visual
like
effects.
best visual effects.
It was definitely nominated. Let me see if it wasn't.
Oh,
if it didn't
I'm
win.
What's
positive it
amazing
won.
is that on the budget they did that on. This is like almost as if like it's like when Tim Thomas like won the Stanley Cup for the Bruins. It's like unheard of.
It did win. Yep,
Yeah.
it won. It won best.
And it did with like
yes.
the lowest budget of all of those movies.
That's insane.
Like what did it beat out? Like
Yeah.
Doctor Who and all those fucking garbage Marvel
Doctor
movies.
All the
Who.
Marvel
No one has-
movies.
No one has fucking
Yeah.
time for that
all
shit.
the superhero movies, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
I know.
not-
You're-
when people want to talk about good movies. This is what we're talking about. We don't talk about garbage.
Your
fucking
disdain
movies.
for superhero stuff.
No, my
always
disdain
cracks
for
me up.
shit crap movies is very prominent. Yes, you are correct.
Hey, so guys, real quick. So Godzilla in Godzilla Minus One, by the way, has 11 total minutes of screen time, meaning he's only in 9% of the film's runtime.
Perfect. All he needs to be.
6 minutes less than the prior Toho Godzilla movie, which was Shin Godzilla from 2016. Did
So a lot of
anybody see
people
that?
like
That's a
one, too. No.
fantastic movie too. Shin Godzilla. I that's why I got Crunchyroll. I know what
Okay.
Crunchyroll is because of that.
So Andrew, yes. Matt, you said no.
No, I haven't. I'm much more of a old Godzilla guy.
Okay.
Not that I'm not shitting on that movie, but I just haven't seen it.
No,
it's
that's fine.
fantastic,
So apparently, in Shin Godzilla, he was on screen for 17 minutes or 15% of its runtime. And in Godzilla from 1954, the original, he was on screen for 9 minutes. 9 minutes of runtime. So
Mike,
this is, yeah,
Can you see? Is this the longest Godzilla movie?
I can certainly try and find out. You might have to give me a second.
I
though.
can do
just
it.
want to talk about some stuff.
Go
If
ahead.
I had to
No,
guess,
no, I want
if I
you to
had-
talk. I can
If
find
I
that.
had to guess, I would say it is.
This
I'm
is
not
true. It's just 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it
That's-
flies by.
But it's the pace is perfection. It is so well done.
And it's
but
so easy
it's
to
definitely
watch
longer.
for like even as long as it
Because
is. Like you're at the edge of your seat.
this is like fucking Saving Private Ryan with a monster.
Thank you, Google AI. Have an answer. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, the American movie from, let's see, what year?
This year?
Nope. It was the one before Godzilla versus Kong. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. That's the longest
Can we
one.
talk about trash? That's trash.
That one actually was not bad.
It's trash.
Godzilla versus Kong was kind of
Trash.
We talked about it in this show because we
I
had
kind of only count the Japanese ones.
That's fine.
You know why you count them? Because they're the only movies that actually are movies. They're not just.
Well, that's
utter
not true. Some of
trash.
them are still fucking completely ridiculous. But
Well, I mean, they're obviously ridiculous. But
you know
they're
what's
not.
nice though is within that first it's like a Criterion book thing with the first 15 movies. There's some of them that they're like the cool thing about this catalog of Godzilla movies, which Mike, you said there's 37 of them.
Yep.
It's an intimidating watch list. You have ones that are like real horror and they're scary and they're intense, but you still have some that are like kind of goofy, and it's like you can like watch those with like your kids and like make it
for sure.
fun. You know what I
It'll be
mean? Like,
fun.
so I kind of like that as like an idea of I would much rather use movies like that and like movies like Frankenstein and like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein as like my gateway horror
And, like,
movies for
Hubie
my
Halloween.
kids. Yeah, that's
Hubie
fine
Halloween.
too. Like, but like I'd rather use those than just use
Like Hocus Pocus.
yeah, Hocus Pocus. That's a really good one too. Beetlejuice. But
Yes.
like I'd rather use
Ghostbusters.
those as like gateway horror movies than kind of like these like PG-13 like
Oh yeah.
watered
Definitely.
down like social media like marketed horror, like I don't know, but it's just I think that's a way cooler way to like get kids into horror is like show them the OG shit because they're not bad, like they're not violent, there's no like nudity or like any ridiculous like behavior or anything in
I
it.
mean,
They're
we
the
lived through them.
original wait, what?
We lived through them, and we're fine.
Right, exactly. Yeah, look at me now. I'd like to watch Irreversible 3 times a year, but
Builds character.
but like I just think that it's like I like that they have like these other versions of Godzilla where it's kind of goofy and there's other monsters and they're just like these big people in suits just like shadow boxing each other. So it's like it's cool. So I think that there's something to appreciate about the Godzilla movies, especially the Japanese ones. Like I know America got in the mix too. Like throughout the 80s and 90s and stuff. But there's so many to watch, and there's so many different like variations of like genre and like vibe and everything. So the Godzilla movies, they're cool. They get a bad rap, dude. People are like, oh, they're just like dumb, goofy movies, but they're pretty. They got a lot to offer. So we're checking out some of them. That's my spiel.
I mean, it is unfortunate because they are good movies and they're innovative movies, right? I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
the practical like costume effects that were in the
Some of
original
them are
movies,
definitely kind of.
big stuff.
you know,
I'm
ridiculous.
real curious on where everyone stands on this level of question, though. Give me, and they do exist. Give me a better cold open than this fucking movie.
Oh, we haven't talked about
That
this yet.
opening to this movie is so fucking good. Baby Godzilla rocks. This opening scene is absolutely murders.
I'd have to really think about cold
Cold
opens.
open.
It's
Kat,
like
what do you think of that?
It's like, is it cold open or is it not?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So basically, when the movie opens, there's no
You don't know what
credits.
the fuck's going
I
on.
might have been folding my laundry.
Yeah,
at
you
the
don't know
beginning
what's
of the
going
movie.
on.
I
You're
don't
just
remember.
watching this movie. And
When the main character, they get attacked on that island by like mini Godzilla.
that is a cold open, right?
That's a cold open.
Yes.
There's no
oh,
credits.
with the island.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and he lands the plane.
Yes, and there's nothing
and
wrong
he
with the plane.
dies,
And
then he
yeah.
and he doesn't take the shot at him. And
Correct.
yes, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yep, yes.
Awesome.
Okay,
The
Thank
best
you.
Godzilla's ever been.
Thank you for the reminder of what the
That
cold
is
open
what
was.
that is probably that might be my favorite. So
Wait, let Kat say what she was going to say
Go
about
ahead,
it first.
Kat.
Then you go.
What was I gonna?
You're
what
going to
was the
talk about it
question?
if you like that part of it. Like what you
Oh
thought
no!
of that.
Well, I mean that builds the plot line for the rest of the story. So I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
that's a main component to the entire movie. So I mean, from A to B, B to C, whatever. But I think I like seeing his character evolve from where he was scared to shoot Godzilla to then, being a kamikaze pilot. Sorry, are you talking spoilers?
Well, he
Well,
was.
yeah, we're
It's like-
yeah, he was one
Then he goes
before
to
that,
being a
though. He was
kamikaze
just-
pilot to
No,
literally
he was a failed kamikaze pilot.
failed. Correct.
Before any of this happens.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So no,
your-
but he
your
was like
assumptions, you're wrong.
his evolution as a character was interesting
No,
to
it
watch from
wasn't.
beginning to end.
Different.
Yes, it was.
The evolution you're speaking of does not exist because he started off as a kamikaze pilot.
Right, and then at the end he was failed, and then at the end he finally literally does his
Shit, but you
kamikaze
just
mission,
went
and then he
backwards.
does the
That's fine.
eject
Yeah,
button,
I
and he
agree.
ends up living, and blah blah blah.
Fine.
So
Which technically
it's
doesn't
still
make him a kamikaze.
He does, yeah. It's interesting, but you were backwards. You were just wrong. It's fine. It's not a big
Whatever.
deal. I'm just saying you're wrong.
I want
Right.
to say there was one at the end, if we are into that spoilery territory,
Yes.
Yeah,
when he does like crash the plane into Godzilla's mouth, all I could think of is South Park. You know how like when people die in South Park from like sudden things, they're just like they just kind of like for one split second, they like you can tell that they went through it. Like
Yes,
the way
yeah.
the plane crashes into Godzilla's like throat, basically, and then he just kind of like stops. I was like, that's a South Park like.
exactly. Yes. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, to me, that was like Star Wars, like when they're the Imperial, like the Death Star.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yes,
There's definitely like a lot of homages to a lot of classic movies in this, like
Well, yeah,
Jaws
they-
and Star. Yeah, like
obviously. Well, I mean, they're playing homage to a lot, but they do it very well.
Yes.
for sure. Oh yeah,
So he was sick.
it was great. It was like I'll definitely be watching this again. I hope it
Oh,
stays
yeah.
on streaming. Otherwise, I hope it's available to buy or
Purchase.
whatever.
Oh,
Like
It would be
I'm
a
gonna
purchase.
get a physical
this is-
copy
this is-
once it's.
This
not
is going to be
only
one of
in
those like I'm
Japanese.
buying like the $90 version, like
Oh,
upscale.
collectible.
Well, listen,
You got a collectible.
what were you saying, Matt?
Andrew, because I know you're getting into collecting movies and you're excited about it. Wait, because the only one available, there's no subtitles, there's no.
Yeah, I know. I've been
only in
looking. It's
Japanese.
all just in Japanese with no
Yeah.
subtitles. I'm like, I like this movie. I don't like it that much. I'm not watching that.
No, there's no point in buying unless you're gonna.
Oh, I
fucking learn
don't
how
know
to
what
speak
anyone
Japanese,
is
but-
saying. Cool.
I could certainly see Andrew learning how to speak Japanese just to watch the Japanese DVD of this movie. Though I feel
Just
like
only
Andrew-
learning the words in the dialogue.
Yes.
It's a Godzilla Zero.
I picked up on what did they say in this movie that I actually picked up on that I knew? Oh God, what did they say? arigato, which is thank you, right?
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
like, yes,
Mr.
yes,
Amato.
yes.
Arigato.
So they said that at
Thank
one
you
point.
very much.
There was like one
Mr.
point when they said that
Arigato.
very slowly, and I was like, I know that, and it was like, yes, it verified my my beliefs. So
Your belief.
my belief that I actually
I'm
have
like,
the
what?
thing right,
That
verified.
that
thing.
actually is what that
Yeah.
means.
Believe.
I believed in myself that I actually knew what they were saying, and I was confirmed to be correct. That's what I was saying.
I will say that the scientist looked just like the guy from Big Goonies.
He kind of did.
I don't remember which one he was.
He was in like Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was also in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He
won
looks
an
very
Oscar.
much like the scientist in this. Yeah, he won an Oscar. He
Okay, I'll
looks-
look at him. I'll look at him.
I don't want
I
to
can
say
figure
that
out-
because I feel like that's like racist. Like, oh, he looks like that Asian guy.
Guys, can I say it's kind of a little soul bearing of me. The end of this movie definitely made me have a little bit of the feels. I
Did
felt
you have
a
the willies?
little bit emotional at the end. There was a very heartwarming end, and I might have maybe like almost cried a little bit. But the main character, by the way, dude, when he cries, he cries. Oh man, he fucking went for
The
it.
best scene in this movie is when he's
Yeah.
crying and like ashes are falling at his place, and
Yeah,
you're like, that is like ashes
was
from like
Yeah.
that is like a nuclear fallout.
yeah,
Mhm.
That is very like that scene is so
Yeah.
emotional.
the whole movie's very emotional. It
really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they do such a good job like of developing the
Very
characters.
good.
It's really awesome. A sight to behold.
Are you gonna have a moment right now?
No, I'm not gonna have a moment right now.
Oh my God.
No.
He just burped.
No, I
Seemed-
burped.
Oh, you burped. Okay, I
Yeah.
was like, are you like tearing up?
No. I've had admittedly, I've had a little bit of a hard time in my personal life over the last week or so, but I'm not going to let that influence my opinion of Godzilla Minus One. Because even though it is a very emotional movie, it's I would not begrudge anybody if they get a little teary eyed at the end, because the ending is very heartwarming. And
Well, it's such
you
an
know,
intense up and down story
yeah,
character.
yeah, that's where I feel like the big Spielberg elements come into me,
It's
because
very human. Yeah.
ultimately, like, Spielberg movies are about spectacle, but emotion is at the core of every story, right? Like
Yeah,
the
it's
big,
about how the
big,
regular
big,
people
big
deal with it.
Spielberg movies. And I felt like that was the exact structure of this movie, was that it had all the spectacle and effects of a gigantic Spielberg movie, but like the heart of like an early Spielberg movie too. So that's why I feel
Yeah,
like
it's
I
kind of
really,
like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
yeah, like that, or like again, Jaws.
Jaws.
It had a lot in common with
Kind of like
Jurassic
kinda
Park.
Like Nope.
Yeah, see, there you go. See,
I
Kat,
mean, it
talking about
is
Nope.
kind of-
Talking about
Wow,
Nope.
way to reel it in there, Andrew.
Up there with
Way to
Nope.
Come
reel
full
it
circle.
in.
Same idea. Like a lot of feels. A lot of feels.
A lot of feels on Nope. Yeah. Was it the
Yeah.
monkey? The monkey
Yeah.
really
Well,
give you
folks,
all the feels.
There ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with having some feels, okay? If you need to
Don't
have
be
some
afraid
feels,
to catch feels.
There's certain movies that live with you for a long time for simply the reason that they give you the feels. And this is one of the
Yeah.
movies that just gives you the feels. I don't give a fuck who fucking ingested the feels. The feels are there because the feels existed,
Yeah.
and the feels will always be there. So don't fuck with the feels. Just accept them for what they are.
All right. Hell yeah.
wow. Feels I got
That's a
from
lot
this
of feels.
feels I got from this movie
Woo!
were don't have survivor's guilt. Always embrace what you have around you. Always protect your country and respect nature. Those are the things that I got out there.
And don't be a kamikaze.
Yeah, that was also a
And
big,
don't fuck
big
with
thing.
Godzilla.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much the
that's
baseline.
Don't fuck with Godzilla.
Don't use nuclear weapons on nature.
Giant lizards.
Mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend. If you
No,
see
thanks.
lizards floating out of the ocean, you're like, what is that fish?
Yep.
If they look
Yep.
unfamiliar, run.
Or
Yeah.
boat,
Something's from the bottom of the ocean floating to the top.
boat
something
away.
Yeah.
comes up.
I was like, why are these fish look like just giant penis?
There's like one shot where the first shot, by the way, when the boats are out there trying to look for Godzilla, and he all of a sudden just pops out of the ocean and just puts the entire boat in his jaw
so
and just
good. Oh,
goes
yeah.
right down.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely incredible. But there's also a shot later in the movie where, like, he's there, you know what he looks like, and you just see like his spikes just like
Mhm.
slithering
Mhm.
beneath
His fights
one of
were
the boats.
great in this movie.
Unbelievable. Like
Dude, that's the
he
Jaws
looks so good. And that's again,
He
yeah,
looks
Jaws.
so good.
Oh, he's
Can we
beautiful.
talk about
I know,
the
he's
nuclear threat?
Absolutely beautiful. He's never been more
I mean, like
beautiful.
I wouldn't fuck him. Don't get
I
me
No, but-
mean,
no, but
it's
no,
just
Mike,
like
Mike,
the way
Mike, we're talking about like a limited budget on special effects, and they absolutely fucking killed it.
Yeah.
it's incredible.
It's incredible how good they did it. This is why it won a fucking Oscar for that.
The atomic breath was
Mm-hmm.
wild.
Yeah.
that was
really
like
good.
one of the crazier parts of the movie for me. The
That was,
train
like-
scene was cool too. I thought that was
Oh,
like
I
really
love that
intense.
scene.
It was awesome.
No
That was like
chance does that
earthquake
chick
and, like, everything.
fucking almost free fall out of there and grab onto that piece of metal and the atomic when it blows everyone away and the dude's like wife or girlfriend or baby mama or just I don't know what they were, but she gets fucking
Friend with benefits.
I feel like it was like
yeah,
a
I
lot
guess
of like
so.
it was a lot of like Game of
Maybe they did some
Thrones
fucking.
vibes with like
Yeah.
that with like maybe because I mean Game of Thrones has perfected that too with like the dragons like breathing whatever fire or ice or whatever. And that reminded me a lot of that too. And all of a sudden, like he got all charged up, he got all fluffy.
Oh, he was all horny.
and
Yeah.
and then he,
Literally, yeah.
I was like, whoa, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was just how devastating like that attack was.
I know,
that's what
yeah.
I was like, holy shit, fucking, it's like a nuclear weapon. And that's the thing is like they're reliving what they just had to go through with World War II. So it's just like it just adds the devastation. They're just like Jesus Christ, like
Right,
just
yeah.
pop.
That's why it's Godzilla -1.
By the way, what did you guys think, real quick, of the plan essentially to take Godzilla out? Did you guys think that was a good? Obviously, it worked in the end to a
Take
certain
Godzilla
extent.
out.
Oh, I thought it was one of the most unique plans that I've ever seen.
It was
Yeah, I thought it was
interesting,
a cool
right?
I
idea.
thought it was very well done.
They're like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna drag him down to the bottom of this trench and crush him. If it doesn't work, we're gonna decompress
him
him on the
back
way
up.
up, and then I
Dude,
guess we're just gonna fly a
it
plane
made
into his mouth.
actually
It made
It made
sense.
perfect sense.
It did.
Logistically, I was like, God damn.
And that's why that goes with Oppenheimer too, the scientific thing with the I mean
Yeah,
all of
it was,
these
like,
little
that made
elements of
sense.
it. That
So
coincides with Oppenheimer too.
Kat
about
makes a
that.
fantastic point because I feel like
Scientific things.
the reason that this movie kind of resonated with me more than other Godzilla movies was the fact that like it almost felt like it could have happened, right? And it's like yes, it's outlandish and crazy,
But it takes itself that
very
seriously.
realistic.
but it feels realistic. It certainly
There's
feels
nothing about this
realistic.
movie that's corny.
No.
No.
It's
Then
extremely logistical.
you put Mothra
This-
or King Ghidorah in this movie, corny. Sorry, no.
Yeah,
This
Mark
is
Godzilla.
more logistical
Nope.
than like most like drama movies that come out there.
Yeah.
Like most of those you're like, well, this is absurd. And like this actually seems realistic.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Do you agree, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like that scene too reminds me of Jaws. That was like that and the dock scene were the two that really reminded me of Jaws. But like when they're all getting together in like the schoolroom to kind of figure out like what's our plan, how are we gonna get
Yeah.
this fucking shark? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even put those two together, but that's
Yeah.
like another like clearly the guy that made this movie loves Jaws.
Oh,
Loves it.
Fantastic.
Absolutely loves it. And I want to give him all the credit in the world. So hold on. His name, once again, is Takashi Yamakaze, who directed, wrote, and did all the visual effects in this film.
He's the reason.
Fucking
why-
dude,
oh,
my
man,
dude,
that
man.
guy. The best.
Yeah, love that guy. Him and I've been friends from way back.
it'd be sick.
Guys, you want to hear about some other 2023 horror highlights?
Sure.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes,
Is that a yes? Is that a
that's
resounding
a-
yes?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful. All right. So I'll run through these movies. If you've seen it, say yes. Otherwise, you don't have to speak up. I'll just list them off. All right. So first in 2023, we have a movie called 65, which is a dinosaur movie starring Adam Driver. Matt, did you see this one? It was on Netflix for a
No,
while.
I never saw it.
Yeah, it was not
heard it was
great.
shitty.
Kind of fucking stunk out loud. You see that?
Yeah.
No.
Nay. Okay. A movie I saw, I'm assuming both of you guys didn't see, was Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham, which is Batman battling Lovecraftian creatures. It's an animated film. Anyone? No.
Wow, it's
Nope.
like they made it for you.
It was
Right?
absolutely like they made it for me. It was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Guys, a movie we all saw, Beau is Afraid.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Good one. Very good one.
Thumbs up. Is this a thumbs up, then thumbs down?
If you want to give it that,
sequence?
yeah, you
I
can.
mean,
You're this
two
is the-
thumbs
this
way
is your
up
first time
that.
on the podcast in quite a while, so you can do whatever you want.
Well, I'm trying to catch up to speed here, guys. I mean, you're not providing me with much information on categories.
I mean,
just saying.
it's not categories. It's just
Well, I'm just
movies that came out
conversation.
last year, the
Um,
same year as
alright.
this movie.
I get-
Categories.
That's
got
all.
you.
That's all. Beau is Afraid, great performance by Joaquin Phoenix, by the way. A very, very out there movie, but one that was very good. Matt, one I know you saw, Birth Rebirth. I don't know if anyone else saw it.
No.
Yeah, this was on my top 10.
That's right.
Oh, I saw that too. Definitely
Movie
my
that's
top
on
10.
Shudder, by the way. Brooklyn 45, pretty good. Anyone else?
No.
No.
Check it out. Kat, you
That
watched it with
that
me.
looks corny as
You
fuck.
did?
Yes.
What did I
Movie
watch?
Brooklyn 45.
Okay.
Was it corny?
A movie I dug, by the way, Cobweb with I
like
really
that
like
too.
that
We
movie a lot.
watched
Yeah, we did.
that.
Kat, we watched that together. Yes, you are correct. I dug that movie. Thought it was good. Good Halloween movie.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Cool. I guess I'll die on that hill.
No,
Another
I
movie
like that
really
one.
liked. One of Ray Liotta's final movies, Cocaine Bear.
Good
Oh,
movie.
I love that movie.
Dug
I
it.
thought that movie was
Thought it
great.
was awesome.
Up there with like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Okay.
No way. Not that far out.
What
Dude,
are
it
you
was,
talking about?
had to have been better than Winnie the Pooh Blood.
It was just as good.
Fair enough. Let's see. Dark Harvest, which was a movie we covered in this.
Oh, I
podcast.
actually didn't mind that movie.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was
all right.
fine. It was good, but
Matt, you see that one yet?
Yeah, I was. We
Oh, you
did
were
an
on that
episode on.
Yeah,
I wasn't
sorry.
in that episode because I had.
I
like, a
thought
last
somebody
minute
was
thing,
missing
but
from that one. It was
I
clearly
did
Kat.
watch it.
Never mind.
Yeah.
no, I think she was there.
No, I was out of that episode, but I watched the movie.
Understood.
I didn't really like it.
Fair enough. That's what I thought. Andrew, a movie you liked a lot, El Conde.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good foreign film.
I didn't see that one. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have like blinders for Netflix movies, which is fine, but that's actually a very good Netflix movie.
Okay, fair enough. I'll have to check that one out myself. Guys, Enos Men. Anyone see it?
Oh yeah, I
Under-
didn't like it at all. I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna like it, but it was very slow and just really just a nothing burger of a movie.
Fair enough.
I did watch that strictly because Matt was like, "This is nothing burger."
All right, another good one. One of the best from last year, Evil Dead Rise. Great movie.
Oh,
Fantastic.
fantastic. Great movie. I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Mhm. One of the biggest movies from last year that was not very good, but unless you like Jim Henson's Creature Shop, Five Nights at Freddy's.
I liked Friday
I
Night
still didn't see that.
Why am I not surprised? There was also a Haunted Mansion movie remake last year, which is based on the Disney ride. No, thank you.
With Eddie Murray?
I liked that
I
too.
can't believe
Wait,
so.
I watched
I'm
those.
pretty sure Eddie Murray was in that movie.
The original one, Eddie Murphy was in, not this one that
yes.
came out last year. Movie I really liked a lot, made my top 10. Hell House LLC Origins, The Carmichael Manor. That movie fucking
Solid
rocked.
movie.
Matt, you see that yet?
No.
It's on Shudder. Watch it. It's very,
Yeah, I'll
very
swing
good.
around to that one.
Guys, Infinity Pool.
Yeah,
Balls.
it was sick.
Yeah,
Yep.
that movie's great.
Fucking
I
rock.
saw that one in theaters.
Catherine, Insidious, The Red Door.
Yes, I liked that.
Uh-huh. I knew you did.
Thanks.
It Lives Inside. Anybody see that?
No,
No.
it's on Shudder.
Me neither. It's a
Pass.
Wonderful Knife. Eh,
I like
Yeah.
that.
it was fine.
I like.
I already gave my love for Christmas slashers.
I know you
the
love
last
that
couple
more.
weeks.
It's cute. Catherine, Knock at the Cabin.
Ooh, I love that one.
I know. One of your favorites from last year for sure.
Yes.
Guys, Malum, one we covered in the podcast. Good movie.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Megan, no thanks.
Cool.
Never
That
saw
movie's
it, so
terrible. You still haven't seen that
I
trash
can't believe
movie?
that.
why do I
Don't you
want to
love-
rush to
because
go
you
see
love
Megan?
Blumhouse movies.
I'd rather watch,
This is like the ultimate.
This is an argument for a
Blumhouse.
later time. No one will save you. I'll say no thanks.
I didn't
Also,
watch
Matt, Pet Cemetery Bloodlines? No thanks.
Oh, that's
Absolute, complete and utter,
that movie's
complete and utter pile of shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Renfield. Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
that
good.
movie's also trash.
I don't
No,
think-
Renfield was good. I liked it.
I don't want that.
Catherine saw X, saw 10.
Trash.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was,
Uh,
I didn't
yeah,
I
mind
it's
it.
think
fine.
I saw it,
You guys
right?
are out of your minds.
We watched it together, and
It's
you.
the same people.
really
I
that
don't
like
remember
Renfield,
which
so
ones
trash.
are which. I mean, saw
Good
like
Lord.
blurs.
Cat Scream 6.
Trash.
Meh.
Okay.
Scream 6
yeah.
sucked.
Bad.
I'm gonna
Bad.
go meh.
Trash.
Guys, Skinamarink.
The biggest
Uh,
trash that's ever
Yeah.
trash.
No thanks.
I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Anyone that says that movie's good is a fucking loser, and I will never no. There are a few moments in life where I agree with certain, and I'm like willing to like understand and be like, you know what, you might be right.
No.
Anyone in their right mind that enjoys Skinamarink, I soon as well just like knock you, just murder you.
How about
Like,
our?
you're gonna die.
You don't exist.
How about our next
You
movie?
don't exist.
Slaughterhouse.
That movie's terrible.
Fair.
But didn't get the same fucking reverence that Skinamarink. Oh, this is a good movie. It's very analog.
Artsy.
Analog. If you use the
Why are you
word,
saying anal log?
well,
It's
that's
analog.
so if you
Analog.
use the word
The can of
analog,
worms is open.
to refer to a movie, you're just saying that you didn't like actually try and make a movie. You just were like, oh, it's so analog. It's so like. It's so different. It's so like, you know, like a book when you read it and nothing happens and the pages are blank and you want to murder yourself. Oh, and I know what
You're gonna be
analog-
mad at me right now, buddy.
That's
but
what
I'm gonna try and
analog
help you
is
here.
now.
It's okay. Let's see. How about Suitable Flesh, Matthew, Andrew?
12 out of 12.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Catherine, you saw that too, right? No, she has no idea. Okay. Guys, talk to me. One I know we all saw.
Love that movie.
A billion out of a billion.
Really?
I
Yeah,
liked
you didn't
Talk
like
to
that
Me.
I thought that movie was fucking overrated as the day is long.
Really?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, Matthew?
Ooh.
That's
What
up
was the
there with
last
like
one?
Hereditary.
I don't think it's anywhere close to Hereditary.
No, not
What was it? I'm
Hereditary. I
sorry.
feel like Speak No Evil.
Talk to me.
Oh no, I like this one.
I don't even like it.
I
On
thought
par
it
with
was- I thought it was
Hereditary?
like Hereditary.
No, that's what Andrew said.
Do
No.
I think it's better than Hereditary? No.
No, not better. On par with Hereditary. Like same idea.
No.
I mean, they could play as a double feature.
It's a very similar story, right?
No.
No,
No,
it's
it is.
not.
No,
Not at all.
no,
Are you
it
thinking
kind
the
of-
right movie?
I'm thinking, yeah, I am thinking of the right movie. It's a very similar fucking bullshit story.
I
Guys, what
think
about
so.
Eli Roth's Thanksgiving?
Sounds like trash.
No, thank you.
I didn't mind it.
I only like
You didn't mind
Really?
it?
I thought it was
Oh.
fun.
Thank you,
I
Matt.
thought it was
I
fun. The
appreciate
kills are
that too.
the kills are sweet.
Fair enough.
I'm with Matt.
I knew what I was
I don't
getting
mind it
into.
either. I mean, go ahead. Sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just saying, like with Eli Roth, like I know what I know what I'm getting.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But I love the Plymouth shout outs and like I mean it's stupid and
So,
it's silly.
literally
but,
in
like,
name
Trailer
only.
Plymouth was
So
insane.
here's my problem with Eli Roth is with Eli Roth, you're basically going with like, I know what I'm getting with Eli Roth, correct? But Eli Roth doesn't understand the fact that like he thinks he's more elevated than he is. That's the problem with Eli Roth.
Depends. I think depends on what movie
thinks
because
he's
he's
like
had
some
good
fucking
movies.
moron
Like
ass
Cabin
motherfucker.
Fever and Hostel are solid.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
love Hostel.
But like
Yeah,
if I just want to watch
they
like a
are,
really
they
good
are,
gory
right?
movie, like that's fine. I'll get what I need from it. So
But he
Wait.
does think that he's bigger than those movies. Right?
I guess so. I see
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from.
That's all I'm saying. Like he's
Yeah.
kind of like a bloated ego for someone that makes like mediocre movies. He thinks he's like Quentin Tarantino, and he's
Well,
like,
he's
you're,
homies with him.
you're Eli Roth. You're not.
Yeah.
Quentin.
Wait, but did you like the Plymouth references and stuff? Is that just me? Did
No,
you like that
I thought
about that?
that's the whole Plymouth thing. The fact that it was in Plymouth was fucking stupid. But it's just
Well-
like they couldn't. There's nothing you could do about it.
I know. Well, they just had the drone shot like above, but I mean, just the references when they were like they're going to Cordage Park or something. I was like, oh my god, that's really
Yeah, they
Oh,
had the
yeah,
like their
you-
biggest
yeah,
rivals
yeah.
were like Hanover.
I
and,
thought
like,
it
that
was-
doesn't even make sense.
I know a lot of things. Like, I mean, it didn't really totally make sense, but it it just hit home, which was kind of nice in a weird kind of roundabout way.
I just thought the kills were cool. Like it was an
Kills were cool.
entertaining movie. So
Yeah.
Guys, how about the Boogeyman from last year?
I never saw
This
that.
it was great. It's based on the Stephen King story. That was in my top 10 last year. Very good.
I
Watch
forget it, but I think we watched it.
Not in my top 10 last year was The Exorcist Believer. No, thank you.
No thanks.
Bye-bye. As Bridget would say, bye-bye. Not the opposite of bye-bye. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, a movie that I loved, that Andrew, Kat, and I saw in theaters and covered on this podcast. Love it. Thought it was great. You people are all fucking idiots.
Oh no, that's in my bottom.
So I can't, Matt.
That's in
I
my
liked it.
bottom of my top 10. It's not a bad movie.
Okay, fine.
It's in the top 10.
Otis,
It's
shut
nothing
the fuck up.
fantastic though.
It was great. I loved it. I
It's
absolutely loved
good. I love
it. The Nun 2. No, thank you.
Never seen that.
Nope.
Matthew, Andrew, Catherine, The Outwaters.
I'll give that like a 5.
solid.
Oh, I didn't really like the Outwaters, but maybe if I saw it on the big screen, I would have liked it better. But it just didn't. It didn't hit for me.
Matt and I seeing that in theaters was quite the experience. That was a really cool thing.
Late Night with the Devil was much better.
Easily.
Yeah,
that was a
I
way
agree.
better theater experience for sure. Andrew, The Poops Exorcist.
That's top 3.
I know you had it on your top 10 last year for
Yeah,
sure.
that movie fucking rocks.
Unwelcome, a movie I had in my top 10 last year, was very, very good. And finally, last but certainly not least, Catherine's #1 movie of 2023, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's correct.
Wait, was
no,
it Blood and Honey 2? Or Blood and Honey
number one.
Oh.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, I believe, is coming out this year.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it's
It's
going to be
really
available to
good.
stream like in a week.
Oh. All right, good.
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone
Oh,
not that I didn't notice,
ooh,
but no one mentioned that Twisters is coming out soon in the news.
that's. I mean, it's.
I mean, I've
They had
been
a Super Bowl
watching
out.
trailers, and it's like very exciting.
Also, no one
news.
gives a fuck about that movie.
I mean,
Twisters.
Kat, you and I are.
The remake of Twister.
I don't give a fuck.
I
won't see it.
I care. I'm sorry.
I would rather like.
That's babysitter worthy
the
movie
guy
theater
from
for
like
me.
Maverick in that
Yeah,
movie.
Glenn
like,
Powell
yeah,
making
like,
tornado
yeah,
sexy again,
he's-
boys and girls.
He's kind of a garbage actor, and also that entire movie that's gonna be terrible. I have no. You guys can have fun watching that movie. I'd rather.
Thanks.
Andrew, that movie's gonna make
Thanks.
hundreds of millions of
And,
dollars.
and it's still gonna be
It's
trash.
gonna be this year's top
Trash
Maverick.
movie. That's gonna be the biggest trash movie that's ever existed.
No.
You're gonna forget about that movie 7 seconds after you've seen it.
It's gonna be fun in theaters.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. I'm
So
gonna
much
jerk
fun.
off and be like, "Look at this erection I
I don't
have."
think you can do that in the movie theater. I think that's very much
Yes.
frowned upon.
No, I don't think you.
Yeah.
Fucking Paul fucking Rubens did, or whatever his fucking name is. No one gives a fuck.
Well, we shouldn't learn to, try to live our lives. After
I
that.
don't.
Should
I,
lead
I,
to
I
learn
have-
to live our
that movie's
lives.
gonna be.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
The lesson is that movie's terrible.
All right. I think the moral of the story here is that we should quit while we're ahead.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
The story
that's
is
how
don't
it
see
is.
trash movies.
Yeah.
Andrew,
Well,
since Godzilla Minus One was your pick this evening,
certainly was.
Parting thoughts on Godzilla Minus One.
Best Godzilla movie ever existed. Top 3 monster movie that's ever existed. Better than most of your like run of the mill like The Thing, Alien. Better than all those movies. Like I will,
You are
I will,
fucking
I
all
will
that.
tell you right now. Like that movie is so much better than those great movies. It's-
You're trolling.
I'm not trolling. I'm telling you, Godzilla Minus One is better than Alien, Jaws, and The Thing. I enjoyed it more than all of those movies. Better story, more depth, better CGI. It's better. It's not. I'm not saying it's. I'm not doing it to be a troll. I'm just saying it is better.
I am
Just my own personal opinion.
trying to retain my
Rage. You're so bad. But I'm saying like that's my personal opinion.
trying to
I'm not saying
retain
that to
my
be
calmness
to be
here.
different.
You are letting recency bias.
It is not
Sir.
recency bias. It is a better movie. It is more. There is more to that movie. It has depth. The Thing has zero depth. Alien has zero.
I need you to leave my
Alien
home
has
right
zero.
now.
The Alien has zero depth.
Get out of here.
all right.
Oh,
My thoughts.
There's a
Catherine.
scary monster that pops up. Cool.
Your thoughts on Godzilla Minus One?
My
Final
fin-
thoughts.
my final thoughts are: I thought it was a nice homage to, as Matt was saying, the first Godzilla when they goes in the city, tears everything apart. It's cool. It was great. It reminded me of like
That movie
nostalgic.
you've never seen. Cool. Awesome.
No, I'm just
I
saying.
love
I
that.
probably
You're
haven't. I
saying
don't know if I've actually.
that. No, you've never seen it.
The references to that movie and like other things, it was cool. See Godzilla like just tear apart the city. I liked it. And
Sounds made up. Cool
That's-
story, bro.
No, I'm just saying that was one of my
That was
favorite
your
parts.
biggest point. Was
No,
like,
I love the story. I loved everything about this movie. I definitely will watch it again. I kind of am jealous that Andrew got to see it in theaters because I feel like it would be a really good theater movie.
In theater movie.
But I honestly, yeah, I just flipped it on because Andrew was annoying about it. So I decided to finally watch it, and I didn't regret it. So
Wow.
thank you, Andrew, for your pick, and thank you for not
Sometimes
wasting
I'm
my
not
time
Fucking around.
because my time is very valuable
I appreciate
to
that.
me.
I tried. I'm glad that I was so valuable
Wow.
to your time.
And I gave you some of my time.
Thanks for your flowers.
That was
Appreciate
a thing to behold.
That was
Listening
like-
to
that was-
live.
that was
Yeah.
like I was.
insane.
I feel like the greatest person.
That was like when you said earlier that I was right. Yeah.
Good lord.
About something. I forget what it was, but you said something, you're right. And I was like, what? What?
If I may, I'm not quite ready to go where Andrew went in saying that this is on par with the classic horror movies that I hold in the highest regard. I think it's very close to that, though. I think it is very, very close. I think that the fact that this movie has such reverence for movies like Jaws and Godzilla is so awesome in this movie. I feel like it's if you're a monster movie fan and if you like any of those movies, The Thing, Jaws, Alien, anything like that, you got to see this movie. It's a must see. Like, go see it. It's phenomenal. Probably one of the best movies that you'll see this year, even though it came out last year.
last 30 years.
And probably one of the best movies of the last, I'm not going to go as far as you, Andrew. I'd say probably one of the best movies of the last like 10 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. It's a great movie. So anyway, guys, anyone else have anything to say about Godzilla before we sign off tonight?
Yeah, this movie was sick. It was I
Yeah,
knew it was going to be good, but it was better than I thought it was going to be. I watched it twice in 2 days when I first came to Netflix, so that speaks a lot because I don't do that often. But like I said earlier, it's just this is a very perfect Godzilla movie. If you haven't seen the original, watch the original and then go watch this one. So that'll do you some good.
I'll take your advice, Matthew.
Yeah, it's not the old one's not that long. It's pretty quick. I think it's like it might be an hour and a half. So
I'll look it up. I'll
Yeah.
watch it.
it's on. They're all on Pluto TV. There's a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
The prevailing piece of advice, if I could tell anybody that listens to this podcast regularly, is to listen to Matt, because usually Matt has lots of recommendations about stuff to watch. And he always knows everything about everything. So I have to say, if Matt knows this about
appreciate
these
that.
Godzilla movies, go watch them.
Yeah, the old
After
one.
you
Like I said,
watch
there's
Godzilla
some goofy ones, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun.
Sometimes goofy is fun.
Yeah.
Come on, Ferris. All right, we good?
I don't know. Are
I'm
we?
good.
I
I'm good.
I
I
think
mean,
we're-
like,
think-
is there any more to discuss? Is that what you're asking?
I'm wondering if Mike's gonna just blow Matt like in like 3 seconds. That was the most aggressive, like, I'll blow you fucking comment. You know, your period pieces that you pick for movies are fantastic. Can I gobble on your fucking cock? That was
Jesus
pretty good.
Christ.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Well,
Just a thought.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
right?
mean, it was
Right.
weird, right?
Can you imagine sitting here,
Super
Matt? This
fucking.
is
I
great.
was sitting here. I'm like, I thought we were talking about a movie, and then Mike was like, "I'm gonna gobble on."
hey,
This
Matt.
is
Sorry for
fantastic,
gobbling, bro.
man.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's okay.
He's a
Just
cock
gobble.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I thought
All
Thanksgiving
right.
was in
Well,
November.
I think it's time that we
put a bow on this
put a
bitch
bow on
and,
this bitch and
yeah.
sign the fuck off. Gentlemen, ladies,
about right.
indifference.
Yeah.
This has been another episode
Put
of
that
America's
dick away.
Hometown. Shut up.
Mike,
Shut
will you-
up, man.
Mike,
Shut the
Mike,
fuck
will
up.
you stop throating people? Jesus
This has
Christ.
been another episode of America's Hometown Horror. I've certainly appreciated you guys listening in. we've been thrilled to be joined by Andrew, Matt, and for the first time in a long time, Catherine. Catherine, thank you so much. I hope you
Yes.
had as much fun coming back on as we had having
Thank
you back on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I hope you had fun talking about Godzilla Minus One.
I did. I had
Did
a lot
you?
of fun.
Did you?
Yes.
Excellent. That's great.
I had a lot of fun. It was fun. I had a great time.
Sorry.
Wonderful.
It
Well,
was so fun.
I
I had
was
a great
laughing.
time.
we all hope to have you back soon. I think
Okay.
that should happen. So
Next time,
yeah, of course. Come
no,
back anytime you want.
we'll see.
I can't help it.
All right, fair
Sometimes I
enough.
laugh.
All right, Andrew,
Oh!
Matthew,
I'm
this has
thinking
been
about
another
Mike
episode
sucking.
of America's Hometown Horror. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening to us. We certainly appreciate it. Guys, say
It was a big mess.
good evening.
Good evening,
evening.
my friend. Mon frere.
Adios, muchachos.
Oh, bye. Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and I want to say thanks again for listening to another episode of our show. If you're interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I'd highly recommend you check out the shows from our friends over on the Inebriart Podcast Network. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find shows from Inebriart, the Old Colony Cast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, and Retro Redoctopus, so head on over and give them a listen.